Great evening, and great evening once again. Just bringing us all up to speed, and so that we can all join from various platforms. Just give me one moment, please. We're going to be doing things a bit differently today than we normally do. Okay. Okay, so welcome for tonight's episode 177 of the Sonya Dungee podcast, brought to you by Always Destined for Greatness LLC. Also, it's being brought by, just went out of my head for a second, I'm sorry, Drip City Customs LLC, and also B Lips. So tonight I'm coming to you with a rather serious topic, and as a result, gonna do my best to hold my composure throughout the evening. But so, as you're tuning in this evening, if you will, please put in the comments in which geographic area you are hailing in from tonight. Um, And welcome once again to the Sonya Dungee podcast, where conversation is always the essence of the soul. I am your host, Sonya Dungee, and yes, still bringing the heat to the IG, to the Facebook, to the YouTube, and now to the TikTok streets as well. For those of you who don't know who I am, please allow me to introduce myself. Just want to also just make sure that I'm streaming from all platforms. It's very important for me to know that, as well as to acknowledge the comments as they are being left. So, yes, okay, here we go. Thank you, thank you. So, with that being said, thank you for joining us tonight. And wow. So, as you're settling in, I'm going to briefly introduce myself and to share a bit of my story with all of you before we move forward. And my name is Sonya Dungee, and yes, I'm the host of the Sonya Dungee podcast. My story began back during the height of the pandemic on January the 23rd of 2021, as I sat at my dad's bedside, not even 48 hours later, after being told that my dad had 6 months to live. There I was, finding myself holding my dad's hands and kind of just staring into his face and not wanting to, holding his hand, not wanting to, because I know the inevitable was coming. But in those moments, I watched as my dad had a tear come down his cheek. And it was right in that moment that I saw him take his last breath here on this earth, and his first breath in heaven. And as a result of that, I spiraled out of control very quickly. Um, I found myself in a dark place. I was isolated. I wasn't spending time with my family, especially my grandchildren. There was three at the time, and God has blessed me now with four. Um, I was doing the day to day. I was the gerbil or the hamster, if you will, on the wheel, just doing the minimum to survive and to just show up. And I was working from home, so I didn't have to leave the house. I would just come from my bedroom across the living room into my office space, which I lovingly call it my shishi room, and did my 7.5, 8 hour, 6 hour, whatever the tour was for the day. Closed down at the end of the day, shut everything down, walked back across the living room into my bedroom, and I shut the door. And other than the times when I was running to the cemetery for that closeness with my dad, because I knew that his ashes were um, there in the calabarium behind the wall, I just wanted to feel his closeness. And that went on for 342 days until enough became enough and I couldn't do it anymore. And my perspective changed. I knew that my dad would not expect that of me. I knew that there was more life ahead of me than there was behind me. I just had no direction. I just didn't have the end in sight. And so I sought out, by investing in myself, a mentor slash coach who I still have all these years later, and a community of loving, supportive, uplifting people who were heading in the same direction, just a level above me, where I wanted to go. And as a direct result of that, today, as a transformation coach, I get to help those who were stuck and broken and with grief and hardship and life challenges, suffering in silence with no direction and no end in sight, the same way I was, but who are ready to move forward, to become resilient and empowered with that attitude of expectation and of excellence, so that they can reach their economic independence, and so that they can live purposefully in their calling and do the same thing that I was called to do, called to serve. So, with that being said, um, thank you for allowing me to share my story. And tonight's topic of discussion is, um, it's going to be sensitive at the very least. So it contains sensitive content regarding suicide prevention. Um, and with that, that takes listener discretion, and that is advised. And it might not be suitable for all listening audiences. I don't want it to trigger anyone or anything like that. I'm just here, as today is Suicide Prevention Day, September the 10th, and I'm just here to bring a deeper awareness to it. So, with that being said, please have pen and paper readily available for tonight's subject matter. Uh, Quite frankly, by doing so, you very well may save a life. So, before we get too involved, I just want to share some statistics with you. The 2024 statistics, they were projections, so therefore I'm going to use what research I was able to find for 2023. And in 2023, the total deaths were 49,316 by suicide, which is the 11th leading cause of death overall. Um, where veterans are concerned, their statistics is 17.6 take their lives daily. With the ages 10 to 34, that is the second leading cause of death. And ages 85 and over had the highest rates. An estimated 1.5 million Americans attempt suicide. And according to the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control, the number of suicides and attempts may be underrepresented. And that is due to the stigma around suicide, as well as the potential misclarifications of drug overdose. And those deaths were, um, the intent is not always clear. So they're not per se included in the actual statistics. And I am going to be popping back and forth. So, like I said, doing things a bit differently tonight. So I want to thank you for joining. I see on the various platforms. Thank you for putting the work in on yourself so you could be there for others. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for that. And like I said, you have to excuse me. I'm doing my best here with keeping it together because this hits home for me specifically because I encountered a possible, it could have possibly been a suicide back at the end of June. And we can't pinpoint it for sure, but it really hit home. And being that today is Suicide Prevention Day worldwide, and it is also Suicide Prevention Month, I felt that it was my duty to bring this to the forefront and do my part in sharing the information. These stats concerning suicide are alarming. Yes, they are. They very much are. Thank you for that. So, with the staggering numbers and in light of the stories I have come across on social media feed, and like I said, I just shared a loved one's passing. I really, it was just every time I went onto social media just to do my research or just to post, there was story after stories that were popping up of teenagers and young children that were bullied and felt that they couldn't take it anymore. And the most recent one, I shared it briefly the other day, but I follow a young man on social media, which is amazing. He has really beat the odds, and he has turned his misfortune into a positive outcome for the world, and he shares it with the world. And so I was actually um, reading what he had been doing, and he shared a post which I did talk about, like I said the other day, and it was a woman who left a note on social media that she just couldn't take it anymore, and she took her life. Um, and thank you for understanding the pain of that loss and stand with you, and I appreciate that 100%. It was heartbreaking to read that and to know that she just couldn't take it anymore. And I don't know her, but my heart goes out to her family and her friends, and I did pray for them. I can't imagine what that feels like, truly feels like. But if I can change the direction of one person here tonight, or if you that are watching live, or if you that will watch the replay later, or if it's you who knows someone that might be in this situation, please listen attentively, because I am going to give you a direction in which you will be able to help um, a friend or a loved one that you feel that might be in that situation, or you yourself who might be in that situation as well. So, um, tonight's focus will be centered around World Suicide Prevention. And in that, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, known as AFSP, has local programs and events in all 50 states, including Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico as well. So, according to their site, they are the forefront of suicide prevention that creates a culture that's smart about mental health. through education and through community programs, research and advocacy, as well as support for those that are affected by suicide. From the International Association for the Prevention of Suicide, it's called Connect with People You Trust. Okay, and I found that they had something that made it helpful for somebody in one of these situations that I'm about to discuss. So, in that, they actually created, if you go to their website or their app, they have different scenarios. If somebody is contemplating suicide, what they can do immediately. And so, one is called Reach Out. And in that, they create 3 different scenarios. And if whichever one you choose to, you can actually click on it. And once you click on it, it pops up as a message on your cell phone. And with the message, it gives you an option of how you want to send it. If you want to send it as a text message one time, if you want to send it and use that always, you can do that as well. Click on that. And then the first one reads, and reach out. When you get a chance, can you contact me? I feel really alone and suicidal and could use some support. And then it says send text. So you click on it, it sends the text. If you tap on the text icon, like I said, it takes you to the message on the phone. And you tap on the message and you can choose to say just once or always. And then from your phone, it takes you to your phone messages or your contacts. You can choose the intended party that you wish for it to go to, and it will send that particular message. And then the second one reads, contact a loved one. And it reads, I don't want to die, but I don't know how to live. Talking with you may help me feel safe. Are you free to talk? And then it gives you the option to send the text. And like I said before, you can send the text. You can choose it one time or always. And then you go, it'll take you to the contacts. You can choose who you wish to send that to. And then you send that text. The third one, express your feelings. And that one reads, this is really hard for me to say, but I am having painful thoughts. And it might help to talk. Are you free? And then it gives an option again to send the text. You choose one time or always. You choose who, and then you can send that text. And then the last one reads, check in. I'm struggling right now and just need to talk to someone. Can we chat? And you do the same thing. They can send the text. They can choose how they want to send it, who they want to send it to, and then it will send. And in the chat, someone wrote, that's a valuable and potentially life-saving technology. It is. And thank you for that. Okay. And then again, this is not an easy subject to talk about. But if you are in crisis, please call or text 988 or text TALK, TALK 741 741. You'll text the word talk and you will send it to 741 741. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline connects you to a trained crisis counselor 24 hours, 7 days a week. They can help anyone thinking about suicide, struggling with substance use, experiencing a mental health crisis, or any other kind of emotional distress. You can also text or chat the 988 if you are worried about someone that you care about, who you feel may need that crisis support. Beginning this Saturday, September the 13th, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention will be holding Out of the Darkness, which are community walks. To walk with them to prevent suicide, together we're learning the fight against suicide. You can join a community walk near you to raise awareness, support, or honor a loved one. Remember a loved one, or fund critical efforts to protect mental health and prevent suicide. Please register today to be part of the movement to walk #out of darkness. I'm honored to say that I will be walking in an upcoming event. So if there's anyone in the Strong Island area that wants to come alongside me, and if you're interested in walking, please feel free to DM me, and I'll share that information with you as well. Okay. Tonight, I'm going to be presenting you with the 3 steps to help save a life from the brink of suicide. And these 3 steps were adopted from the Army, their ACE suicide model, and can be used whether it's a soldier, a civilian, or family member. And that's why I asked you to gather a pen and paper. So, number 1 is ask, and that's the A in ACE. Ask. Be direct. Find the courage from within, and in a calm voice, ask that person, are you thinking about ending your life? Are you thinking about ending your life? The C is care. Care for your person. Calmly control the situation. Do not use force. Be safe. Okay, and when I said 2 is care for your person, then there's sub-listings for care. And care is the C for calmly control the situation. Be careful not to use force and be safe in the process. The A in care is actively listen. Actively listen to show understanding and produce relief. The R in care, remove any means that could be of self-injury. And the E is escort. Bring the person to an ER, emergency room, your local hospital, a behavioral health office, or any other healthcare facilities. Or if you have to, call 911. Get an ambulance there immediately. But stay with that person. Staying with that person is very important. Don't assume that because help is on the way that you can remove yourself from the situation. No, stay right there. And then make sure to check in with that person regularly, even after treatment has begun. Let them know that you're always there. You're always there with a non judgmental ear. You're an earshot away. Stop by, drop food off, offer to take them for a drive or out to eat. Make sure to sprinkle that kindness, that empathy, that love, and that support no matter what. No matter what. And with that, I'm going to just jump over to the comments. Don't want to leave anyone out. And I want to thank you for your comments. I want to thank you for joining. I do see where you're joining from, and you are live. And thank you for for letting me know that and where you are tuning in from. It's always important for me to know that. Just tonight's message, I just wanted to make that crystal clear. I just wanted it to be crystal clear and to know that these statistics are staggering. And these, in my opinion, are not even 100%. They're not. It's happening. It's happening all around us. And when a child is being bullied and they're coming home and they're acting differently, they're to themselves, they're shutting the door, they're not communicating well, they want to be left alone, that's an indication that there's something that is wrong. And I'm not sitting here saying that I know everything, and I am not a trained professional in this field, but I made it my business to do the research so that I can sit before you tonight and talk about it. Because you don't know what you don't know until you know what you know. And I learned so much valuable information just doing this research. And I see it happen all the time, especially to children. And you would never think that in a million years. But these children are being bullied so bad to the point where they can't take it anymore. And you know how that saying goes, if you see something, say something. Well, if you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. Act on it. Act on it. Let's all do our part starting tonight. Do our part starting tonight to make a difference. Whether it's a child, whether it's an adult, even seniors, veterans. And honestly, I've never been told not to. Because my dad was a veteran, and I remember sitting at that VA hospital and the camaraderie between the veterans, and they're so proud proud of one another, that we want to acknowledge them and make them feel that they are wanted and that they are blessed and that they mean something. And let's do that for our children as well. And if you're watching, as I said, and you felt that urge, please reach out. Get the help that you need because you're deserving, you're important, you're loved, you're appreciated. You have every right to be here on earth, just like everybody else. Don't take matters into your own hands. I'm finishing up the podcast. I'll be right with you. There's people out there that will support you, that will love you, that will understand. It's an illness. And it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. Just please reach out. I beg that of you. Reach out. So, with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining tonight. Um, if you need any additional information, if you need that number again, I will post it to all my platforms. If you want to DM me for additional information, please do so. You can call me, you can text me. I'll put you in the right direction. And in that too, I also wanted to point out, and excuse me because I did have the information here. I just got, my mind just started going, but there's also the Trevor Project. So if you're thinking about harming yourself, get immediate crisis support. Connect to a crisis counselor also 24/7, 365 days a year from anywhere in the United States via text, chat, or phone. The Trevor Project is 100% confidential and 100% free. It is the leading suicide prevention and crisis intervention and not a nonprofit organization for the LGBTQ and young people. And you could learn more about them at www.thetrevorproject.org. Again, www.thetrevorproject.org. And for additional information about World Suicide Day, you can either Google that because today is World Suicide Prevention Day. This month is Prevention Awareness Month. And in that, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, known as the AFSP, again, they have local programs and events in all 50 states and in Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico as well. So please, please, please utilize these various programs. So again, with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining. Wasn't an easy subject matter, but thank you because you helped me to get through it. Please kindly repeat the steps. Those were valuable. Absolutely. The stats are scary. We can all step up a bit. People commit suicide because of low self-esteem and having a poor self-image of themselves. So true. Thank you so much for those comments. Valuable. Thank you for all the special contact information. So I was asked to repeat the steps again, and I will do that. Just gather my information here. And thank you for asking me to repeat the steps, because I really should have. And just like I said, it's just a little bit overwhelming. And the first one is ask. Okay, and this spells out ACE, and this is the model that was adapted by the Army. It's the Army ACE suicide model, and can be used whether it's a soldier, it's a civilian, or a family member. So number one is ask. Be direct. Find the courage in a calm voice. Ask, are you thinking about ending your life? And the second is care. Care for that person. Calmly control the situation. Do not use force. Be safe. A, actively listen. Actively listen to show understanding and produce relief. The R is remove any means that could be considered self-injury. The E is escort. Bring the person to an ER, the emergency room, a behavioral health office, any other healthcare facility nearby, or even call 911 for an ambulance. But stay with the person until told differently by the professional. That's very important. And then check in with that person regularly, even after treatment. Even after the treatment has begun, just let that person know that you're there, that you care, that you support, that you love it unconditionally. Let them know you're always going to be there. Give that non-judgmental ear. Let them know you're an earshot away. Stop by. Even if they don't want company, just drop food off. Offer to go for a drive or take them out to eat. Be sure to sprinkle that kindness, the empathy, the love, and the support. You're welcome. Terrific share and podcast tonight. God bless you. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining. I do see we have some new viewers, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. And please, by all means, watch the replay. Invite anybody to watch the replay that you feel that might gain some wisdom and some support by watching it. And then also, I want to just make sure I get the right one to call it out correctly. The I mean, it really could be for any, but specifically, as far as the colors go, if you noticed, in my post, the ribbon colors is a purple and it is a teal. So those two colors combined together is the color for the suicide ribbon. And in support, I wore, might not be yellow, but they said to please wear yellow as well. Yellow is to bring a ray of sunshine to a otherwise dismal, cloudy situation that people aren't fully aware of. And so in support, I wore yellow. So if you can wear yellow as well, whether it's today, whether it's tonight, whether it's this week or this month, it would greatly be appreciated, and bring that awareness as well. Again, if you need to, you can even Google them. It will bring up the various text messages that one can use if they feel that they're in crisis. And I've never seen anything like that before. And I thought it was truly incredible, truly a help, and truly worth diving deeper in. And I see in the chat the yellow heart. So thank you so much for that as well. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining and helping me get through tonight's World Suicide Prevention Day podcast. Tomorrow, in light of September the 11th, I will be doing a podcast as well, more of a pop up podcast. I'm thinking more of in the evening, preferably after 6 p.m. tomorrow, and in remembrance of 9/11. I've been again doing some research and found out some other things that I didn't know, and I will be bringing that tomorrow as well. So uh, the next Boss Masterclass is going to be held at the beginning of October the 1st to be exact. So please be watchful of that. I will be dropping the registration link in the weeks to come. I want to thank you all for joining. Be safe, stay well. God bless you all. And as always be destined for greatness, your very best. God bless you all. Bye for now.